Well, inflation finally gave investors something to smile about, but rising tensions in the Middle East made sure the markets didn't get too comfortable. Hey everyone, it's Wednesday morning, July 15th, and welcome back to Capital Markets Quickie. I'm your host, Endrit Sella, here to break down yesterday's market action in just 2 minutes. Quick note before we dive in. Today's episode is brought to you by AMF Capital Asset Management Frankfurt. Learn more about our funds and strategies at amf-capital.de. Alright, let's get started. U.S. stocks finished mostly higher after a cooler-than-expected inflation report gave investors fresh hope that the Federal Reserve may not need to stay as aggressive. Annual consumer inflation came in at 3.5%, below expectations of 3.8%, easing some concerns about future interest rate hikes. Markets are still expecting one 25 basis point rate increase sometime next year. The Dow Jones finished little changed, while the Standard & Poor's 500 gained 0.4%, and the Nasdaq Composite outperformed with a rise of 0.9%. Artificial intelligence remained a major theme. IBM shares dropped around 25% after warning that customers are redirecting spending away from traditional software and toward AI infrastructure. At the same time, chipmakers like SK Hynix and Micron moved sharply higher as investors continued to favor companies tied to the AI boom. It was also a strong day for Wall Street's biggest banks. Quarterly results from JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, and Goldman Sachs showed healthy trading activity and solid profits, giving the financial sector another boost. Meanwhile, oil prices continued to climb as investors closely watched the renewed conflict between the United States and Iran. Markets were also focused on U.S. plans involving the Strait of Hormuz, while President Trump announced that proposed cargo fees would instead be replaced with investment agreements aimed at bringing more capital into the United States. So, another day where inflation helped lift sentiment, but geopolitics reminded investors that uncertainty is never far away. Alright, that's it for today's Capital Markets Quickie. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe and stay in the loop. See you tomorrow morning.